everyone, this is Harshit. This podcast will be a collection of episodes about my experience taking part in Smart India Hackathon, SIH. This is going to be the first episode where I'll talk about my first time experience in participating in SIH in 2019. It was just another ordinary day in my first year of BTech. I was trying to figure out what exactly this Netflix and Amazon Prime and trying to understand how people manage to watch them all day even without sleeping. I was such a noob that I wasn't even aware of what streaming services were at this time. My friend enters my room and informs me that one of a girl in our class had asked us to form a team and compete in SIH competition. So I didn't give it much thought at first. Later in the canteen, he reminded me once again of the same. Then I actually started thinking about the same, and then I started looking out for what exactly is this competition and how one can participate in it. So, for those who don't know, SIH Smart India Hackathon is a nationwide initiative by Innovation Cell of Ministry of Education to provide students a platform for solving real world problems, thus inculcating a culture of product innovation and mindset of problem solving. So SIH occurs in two levels. The preliminary level, where it requires students to choose problem statements from the website and research the solutions and present those solutions at the university or college level internal hackathon. At the conclusion of the first stage, the college will nominate 10 teams for the finals. After receiving these teams' ideas, the Ministry of Education will compile all the India wide ideas and choose a small number of teams specific to each problem statement to compete in the finals. After being chosen for the final round, you will be invited to the hackathon's final round where you will compete against other teams that are working on the same problem statement. Finally, you will be crowned the winner of the specific problem statement if your team defeats all other teams. So, coming back to the story, after giving it some thought, I went up to my friends and then told them that we would be participating in this competition. After tough discussion, we ultimately formed a team of six. Finding a problem statement is now the issue. As a members of the robotics club, we were familiar with the fundamentals of Arduino and other hardware. So we started looking for problem statements in that direction. Finally, we came across a problem statement that challenged us to find a solution to the trash that is being dumped on the public streets. This problem statement involves developing a smart bin and encourage people to dispose their trash in those bins. So we started thinking about a solution and came up with one solution. The solution is a dustbin that offers rewards. So individuals can earn rewards by throwing dust into it. We were happy with the solution until one day one of my seniors questioned me after I explained him the solution. He told ki I'll throw a stone inside it. Will you give me the rewards? Wow, that question left us unsure of whether we should proceed or not. Finally, we realized that this needs to be solved, so we moved forward and began looking for a faculty member who could help us. We stopped one of our professors in the middle of the pathway and began asking him questions. People began to look at us and think that we are solving a big problem, but in reality, we are just asking him how to handle it if someone throws a stone inside it and asks for rewards. Our professor gave a simple answer that we could incorporate a compressor into this dustbin so that it would determine whether the object is crushable and compressible or not. If it is a stone, then it is definitely not compressible, so that we can understand that whether it's a stone or whether it's something else. So we are now re-energized and ready to suggest our smart bin as a solution for our problem statement. So we are informed the rules of the hackathon. We were informed that in order to solve the problem and present it to the judges within 24 hours, we had to stay awake the entire night. Okay, I'm not used to staying up all the night at that time, but we figured out we could at least give it a try. We were all gathered in a room with many other teams. Uh, the hacking has begun. We pulled out our box of tools, which contains Arduino, Node MCU, jumper wires, and chota chota buttons, with the intention that we can develop a smart dustbin with them. That's it. We started to hack. As soon as we connected the Arduino and Node MCU, we got the impression that we are part of a large organization working to find a solution to a problem that would solve the human crisis without our help. But the truth is that we couldn't even do the simplest thing, that we were unable to connect Node MCU to computer. So one of our judges suggested that we adjust some baud rate, which refers to speed of communication between the Node MCU and the computer, and it actually solved the issue. Next, we connected the number pad and attempted to take an input from it. We approached the problem solving process as if we are significant, like we are solving a bigger global issue. This was the only activity I could recall taking place in that evening. Eventually, night fell. I'm not sure what we accomplished at that point, but when I look at others, I can see that many people are putting a lot of effort in developing the code, finding solutions to bugs and other tasks. However, I was just sitting there pretending to be solving some complex issue. Organizers brought the food, which we ate and enjoyed. So at last, all six of us gave up at 12 a.m. in the midnight, and I started to decide that we can start early in the morning after taking a small nap. You know how small naps might turn out, right? So I ended up waking up 10 a.m. and I got to know that the judging round will begin at 1 p.m. I then hurried to the event location. Now comes the tension because we thought that we can need to accomplish something and present it to judges, but we were unable to do so because it was already too late. My team then began working on a PPT presentation and a website using Wix, that is basically template based. But even we were unable to complete them by the deadline. So the judges finally began calling the teams one after the other. They inquired about whether our problem statement category was software one or the hardware one when we attended to the presentation. The truth is, we later realized that our problem statement wants a software solution while we are busy making some hardware components work during the whole time, which was not even the solution. So when the judges asked, "What have you developed?" we started displaying our components, which included a number pad used to enter the data into the system and a pre-built website using Wix. We were asked for the website's code, which is something we obviously don't have. Then they asked us to leave and gave us a feedback that we need to develop something in order to participate in this hackathon. And they couldn't see any of that. So when we got back from the judges, we understood that we wasted a lot of time by not putting in effort. People kind of literally laughed at us, but they still somehow showed respect because we were still first year students and learning. We patiently awaited the results, knowing fully that we had not been chosen. They finally announced that results, which obviously did not include our team. So as I was leaving the room, I noticed some of my seniors who had put in a lot of effort but still were not chosen. Seeing them upset about the outcome made me realize that we had nothing to be disappointed about since we did not do anything there but learned a lot from that experience. So my first experience with Smart India Hackathon was eye-opening and full of valuable lessons.